Well, if you know anything about Taylor Swift, besides her music and everything else, it's all about relationships. And people follow her relationships very closely.
Has she gone too far?
Has she made a choice that's finally got fans a little upset?
Is Taylor Swift's career over?
Probably not. But we're going to talk about it anyway, coming up. Hey, glad to have you back with us. Let's go in. Lots to talk about on this episode. The voice it is what it is. If you're a fan of the show, great. I liked it for a few seasons, but, it's been on for like 60-something seasons now.
I really can't name one person that's been successful off the show. No. I'm sure there has been, but I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it's just, again, I think there's just so much going on in the world of reality shows and singing that The Voice was never really about making stars of the people.
It was about the coaches
who were competing, and so that's what we're talking about. So we have a mixed feeling about this. On the one hand, we're sad that Neil McCoy didn't get a fair shake at possibly hosting that, because, he may be a little older, but he would have been amazing.
Well, there's some networks out there or streamers like Apple TV or somebody that's trying to do an American Idol ripoff. They need to call Neil McCoy.
Yeah, if you want somebody who's he exudes positive energy and he's honest and cool and funny.
And knows his stuff.
He's a man. But on the other side of the coin, you can't be mad about Reba taking Blake's place. I mean, she's Reba.
Sure you can. Because of The Voice, we will not get a Trimmer 6 now.
So, Reba's Reba. And I don't think there's going to be anything shocking about her on this show. I think we're going to see exactly what we come to know and love about Reba for her entire career.
Yep.
Not a bad choice. I know her fans are very, they love following her. So that'll be good for The Voice, but we're still a little hurt in our heart that
find Neil a home.
He needs it, for goodness sake. Speaking of The Voice, former judge on that show, Kelly Clarkson, super talented, crazy successful. She came off a different singing show, American Idol, and now she's got her talk show. And it's in the news because you may have seen this. Former employees are saying it was a severely toxic work environment.
Now, you have an interesting take on this.
What a lot of people are saying about it, even the people who are making that comment about the work environment, are saying that Kelly is fantastic.
Doesn't surprise us. I mean, we've known Kelly since the beginning, and she is amazing.
Yeah, they said the story is not about Kelly being a bad person or Kelly being the problem, but said there are producers on the show that are monsters to work for. And they were overworked, were underpaid, and they're terrible. They're mean to us, and blah, 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 blah.
And you think?
Well, it's a possibility. I'm not saying this is the case. And I don't want to sound like some old guy. Well, back in my day, everything's different in the world now, and I'm certainly not one of. I'll tell you what I'm not going to be is one of the guys who said, well, these kids need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and pay for college like I did. When I went to college, it cost about $4,000 a year. It costs a little more than that now, so let's put that argument aside. But what we are seeing in today's world, for whatever reason, people are very thin-skinned and sensitive, and there's a certain people of a certain age, and I don't care what gender you are or how you identify, it's about how old you are, that are very easily hurt. And just saying, maybe in a cross way, hey, I asked you to get this done by 12 and you didn't get it done by 12. What's the holdup? That, honest to God, that phrase could be enough to set somebody off as, this is toxic, you're so mean.
Okay, now I'll side with you on that part of it, because we've had employees before where we've multiple times said, hey, can you get this done? Hey, we need you to do this, and they don't do it. And then when you finally get to a point where you're like, I have to write you up or whatever.
Or I get, firm about it.
Yeah, then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, he's so mean.
He's such an a-hole. Why are you so mean?
Yeah.
When you've been asked or told to do something 10 times, and they were pretty nice about it all those 10 times, and then on the 11th, they get a little fussy, and you suddenly want to cry out, this is terrible.
But I do want to side with the people complaining from the standpoint of, we have worked in toxic environments.
Oh, yeah.
And there's nothing worse, especially when a middle tier person like Kelly's the top dog, and then these other producers, when you have that middle tier person that's in charge, that is going, I'm in charge, and you're doing this and that. And when we've seen it, we've worked for it, where there's someone openly sabotaging you or poking you and trying to get you to do things. So it could be a toxic work environment, depending on the people there.
For sure. I mean, we don't have any inside information on that. I'm just saying that is something we see a lot of, though. People love to cry out how mean somebody is. I see it sitting on the sidelines. I watch how people work at a certain corporation where my wife happens to work, and I hear how people react and what they consider great work and what is important to them. And it's like, it blows my mind that this place still stays open.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, and they're not alone. I mean, most companies are like that.
Absolutely. Our former companies.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about how toxic it is, but then they all look the other way when the revenue comes in.
And you made a great point. Those middle people who are in charge of making things run on a day-to-day basis, they tend, not always, but the bad ones, people who might get somebody to say it's a toxic work environment, tend to be the people who, I'm not Kelly Clarkson, but I speak for her, so I get to act this way.
The powers that be will know.
And it doesn't work that way. And it's hard, and I feel bad for Kelly because I'm sure she was insulated from this and had no idea a lot of it was going on. Now, I'm guessing that just based on what we know about her being a decent person. I think if she had known that was happening, she probably would have done something. But it's challenging when you're Kelly Clarkson and it's the Kelly Clarkson show. No one's going to go on and write a headline, middle staffers at the Kelly Clarkson show are mean. They're going to say toxic work environment at the Kelly Clarkson show. So it's a black eye on her reputation, even though she may have had nothing to do with that.
Yep.
Challenging place to be.
Bottom line is they got to find out if it's true. If somebody is doing that, then they got to take care of it.
Yeah. And whatever you got to do. I mean, it's Ellen all over again.
Yeah.
When the Ellen show went through all that kind of stuff, although in that case, a lot of it was about Ellen.
Yeah.
Whereas in this case, even the people saying these things, saying Kelly's nice. Unrelated to that at all. Don't you hate talking on the phone?
Absolutely.
It's the worst.
We live in a world where you can't live without your phone, but if it rings, you immediately cringe.
It's the last thing in the world I want to use my phone for is to talk on it. And that just goes with anybody, anytime. I love hearing from my kids. I'll always talk to them, our stuff. As I've gotten older, I have developed not a crippling, but a strong anxiety about having to make calls to people I don't know for little things, setting up an appointment, ordering a pizza. Like if it has to be a call, I'll get Katie to make the call for me.
That's the reason why online's so great.
Online is great, but only if it works. Now, we've lived in this city in East Tennessee for about 6 years. Several times I've tried to make various appointments for medical care or dental care online.
Okay.
So these people all offered online. Hey, make an appointment right now. Click on this. Not once. And it's not like a ton of times. I'm healthy. But in the 8 to 10 times I've tried to make appointments, not once have I been successful doing it online. They all offer it, but it's like nobody in the office is in charge of checking the incoming stuff to get the appointment taken care of. So ultimately, I end up having to call and do the thing I don't want to do. My thing is very simple, and maybe this is just a crazy idea. If you're not going to honor online appointments or pay attention to the online appointment thing, just get it off your website.
Yeah.
Say, we're not messing with this. Take it off. Because all you're doing is setting me up to be pissy the first time I ever talk to you. Because the way I am, and I think you can attest to this, the first thing I want to do when I get on the phone is, well, I'm calling you only because you don't do anything with your online stuff. I want to complain immediately.
Well,
and I want me there.
And I wanted to say that, you don't have to set you up to be pissy.
That's true too.
So that really, we don't need the motivation.
I roll out of bed that way. So the last thing seriously, usually if it's a doctor situation, I simply want to get a tube run up my butt and have you take a look. But I'm already a little tense about that.
We're talking about the doctor, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not just anybody.
Okay. I was just making sure that wasn't. Don't answer in the comments.
There's a guy waiting in the hall when the show's over. No. So I'm already tense. I'm already, I'm worked up about that.
I got you.
Don't make it worse on me by building my anxiety by these other things. So I'm just throwing it out there for anybody who works in an office like that. If you're not going to honor online appointments, don't offer online appointments. Okay. Now, what are we watching this week? A lot of good stuff. You saw a big movie.
Guardians of the Galaxy. First of all, side note, another old person sitting next to me talked the entire movie. If a funny line happened, they had to repeat it out loud. They had to laugh. The husband talked to her the whole time. That's Sylvester Stallone from Rocky, and it's just like, really? That's 2 movies in a row in the past month that I've went to where there's a lady. They're all over 50, these ladies that do that. And that generation is the one that always talks about how disrespectful teens are. Oh, these kids aren't respectful. They don't know how to respect people or whatever. It's not the teens I hear talking all through these movies. It's old people rambling.
Like they've somehow earned the right to be that way.
And I just want to, every time I'd get into the movie, I'd be like immediately taken out, like, okay, please shut up and let me enjoy the movie. So,
and it was an odd setup because isn't this the one she had a child actually sitting on her lap?
And when I sat down, I thought this kid's going to talk to the movie, and the kid never made a peep. It was the grandma the whole time.
Wow.
So, but the movie Guardians, it is a great movie. If you like the first Guardians movie, you will love this one. For a while, I was like, this is getting dark. I don't feel good. I mean, but at the end, you're like, that was fun.
Excellent. So thumbs up.
Yes, thumbs up, and the soundtrack's fantastic.
And that's a strong thumbs up, because if you saw the show a few shows back where we talked about this, and both of us suffering from fatigue from the Marvel universe, and you weren't even super excited necessarily about seeing it.
Mm-mm.
So that's promising. And I'll have a review whenever it streams at home. That's when you'll get a review from me.
I think you'll like it. I think you'll say exactly what I just said. It's good.
Probably.
And that'll be it.
I think I like those movies a little more than you generally anyway. So I'm going into it with a more excited attitude to watch it. We watched one that we've been talking about forever. We did the first teaser for this show in one of our first shows way back when, Cocaine Bear.
It's the reboot or kind of a sequel to BJ and the Bear.
I can't disprove that. It's possible that this band, no, it's not related to that in any way. We were excited about it. We knew it was going to be, just big, dumb fun, and that's what we've heard. And it finally became available for less than $20. And I said, I'm not paying $20 for Cocaine Bear. It's got some real recognizable faces in it, some real actors.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, I'd say it's a lot of fun.
Okay. Like Sharknado fun?
It's not that stupid.
Okay.
It's based, it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
The cocaine part of it, how the bear goes about things, and that is different. But I mean, Ray Liotta, one of his last movies, Margot Martindale, great character act. So a lot of good people. I will say, as an animal lover, there were a few moments. It wasn't bad enough that I was like, I'm going to turn this off. But I was like, it made me sad. A couple of things, it made me sad.
Well, in Guardians, you're going to feel sad a lot.
I'm sure, because that stuff, I'm willing to make it through it if it's part of the story. And this was. If you drink, turn that on. I think you'll have a good time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's exactly what you probably expect it to be. And then we watched Air.
Yes.
Which you've already seen. And I agree. Fun movie, great movie. I'll watch this movie again. I liked it.
It's one of those to me that every time you come across it on TV, you'll watch it all the way through. Yeah. Wherever you pick it up, you'll watch it.
Yeah, it's like a Bull Durham for me, or one of those kind of things. I really loved it. And I think they maybe in one of the most brilliant ways. I mean, and I've seen a lot of good openings. This movie, I think, does a fantastic job before it even starts of getting you feeling good. If you're of a certain age.
And putting you in the mindset.
It's the opening credit probably takes 3-4 minutes, but it's all about nostalgia, and it's about putting you in that time frame and all the different ways that you can do that, and with the music and what you're seeing on screen. And I was smiling ear to ear before the first word of dialogue was ever spoken. Yes. So I think Ben Affleck or whoever made that opening scene did a great job, and the movie itself is a lot of fun.
Very cool.
So The Diplomat, we've talked about a couple of times.
Love it. Can't wait for season 2.
Yeah, if you haven't tried it out yet, it's on Netflix. Kerry Russell, it's fantastic. It's like the West Wing on steroids.
Yes.
It's just really, really, really good. I'm going to be so sad when this first season is over because I want to jump right to the next season. And then one other one that we're watching, if you watch Waco on Showtime, Michael Shannon was the star.
I saw that. It was an excellent show.
Really, really good limited series. They came back and they've made a follow-up, Waco, The Aftermath. 5 episodes, and it's basically what happened in court with some of the survivors of Waco. And also it's given us a side story of leading up to the Oklahoma City bombing, because I guess this was connected.
I didn't know that.
In a way. But it's fantastic. Great acting, really good storytelling. And if you watch the first one and you haven't had a chance to see this yet, it's on Showtime. Highly recommend.
Okay.
So I think that covers all the stuff we're watching. Real quick, Grocery Store Diaries. Can I share 3?
Sure.
I don't know why suddenly, since we've been doing this and I'm not working on a regular basis, I guess I'm going to the grocery more maybe, but I'm noticing more and more things. So 3 quick stories.
Lay it on us.
As usual, if it's someone who's really old, you're probably going to deal with somebody who doesn't know what the hell they're talking about.
Yes.
And that's what we've got. This older woman, she comes in and I see her go, she's over at the gift card section and the store's about to close. And she walks over to, like, standing behind the cashier who's already ringing me up. And excuse me. And the lady's like, 1 second. And she finishes up with me and she's like, yes, ma'am, what can I do for you? And she's like, I'm looking for a steaming gift card.
A steaming
gift card. And the cashier's like, I'm sorry, ma'am. What is it? And she, I need a gift card for steaming. And she's like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about. And so then, and it's like, it's like it's some kind of conspiracy. The lady says, oh, well, they call it streaming, but it's steaming.
Huh?
So at this point, there are a lot of questions going through my mind. Like, what has this woman been told, or what does she think? I mean, I assume she's looking for a Netflix gift card.
Oh, okay. Because I wasn't even in the right ballpark. I was sitting there going, I have no clue what that means.
Well, I mean, very initially, I'm thinking steaming. Is that for like a getting your clothes steamed or ironing, or is it like a seafood restaurant? I mean, it was crazy. And then but the way she said it, well, they call it streaming, but it's steaming. Like she's in the know somehow that it's called steaming instead of streaming. And I found that very curious. In the end, the cashier didn't know what the heck she was talking about and shined her on and said, the store's closing, get out of here. Second one is another coupon story.
Okay.
And
They're the worst. I hate when I see people in front of me with coupons or the split check. It drives me insane.
I'm so blown away by this, and I'm fascinated by the mindset of people who use them. Because obviously, I mean, coupons are a great thing. Saving money is great. This woman took the time to actually clip a real paper coupon, which already, to me, that's mind-boggling. She comes in, she's got her stuff, and it's a big box of Cheerios, and they scan it. And somehow, like, how people know that, like, the total isn't what it's supposed to be, also blows me away. She goes, I don't think I got the right discount on that cereal. Cashier says, oh, you know what? Yeah, it didn't come up. So she takes the coupon again and looks at it and she says, oh, well, this happened like a day or two ago. She goes, this expired on the 7th. And the lady's response to that was, well, yeah, but I wasn't home then. I was on vacation. And the cashier's like, oh, I'm sorry, man. We don't, Kroger doesn't send out information to find out when everybody's going to be on vacation.
Those are the people that drive me nuts. I was behind a lady once that argued for at least 5 minutes over 30 cents off on Charmin toilet paper, and she was buying paper towels. And the coupon was expired and for a different product. Well, and she was trying to use it, and they let her have it.
That's the second half of this. So she says, the lady says, well, can't you just overwrite it and give it to me? And she's like, yeah, let me do that. And she tries, and it still won't work. And then she says, oh, you have the wrong size box as well. So on top of it being expired, but hey, she was on vacation. That's not her fault. She bought the wrong size box. And then she has the nerve to get all, well, I guess I'll go get a different size. And the cashier's like, okay. But I'm like, it's like 30 cents. I'll give you $1 just to move this transaction along and get out of my way.
And people take it out on the cashiers. And it's like the cashier has no say so over that. I mean, a million years ago, I worked at Kmart for a summer when I was a kid. And you were told, here's the rules. Here's what you do. If this happens, you have to get a supervisor. If somebody asks for this, you have to get a supervisor. You're not allowed to do anything without somebody signing off on it. So when people go, can't you just do this? And when they say no, they mean no.
Yeah. But what bothers me the most, I guess, is what I see is they never say no. Like I don't know about how it is in other stores, but like Kroger, they end up they gave her the coupon, they gave her the discount. I'm like, these are the stupid idiots who we're lowering the bar for every day because we won't make them live by the right rules. Say, hey, coupons have rules. A, you got to clip them to get them. 2, they've got to be in the right time frame. And 3, it's got to be for the friggin' product you're trying to buy.
That's the reason why I can't be a cashier because
I
would look at them and say, you know what? We can't give you the discount, but I can give you this. And they'd be like, what is that? And I'd say, hopes and dreams.
Thoughts and prayers. That seems to be doing a real good job.
Yes.
Blew my mind. And then the third one's just a real quick one. And I don't know if it was a language barrier, if this is how they do it where he's from. I don't know. But a guy, he was Hispanic of some sort. I don't know from where he was from. But it's Mother's Day, and he's getting some flowers for somebody, which is a lovely gesture. So if you go in the grocery, and they've got all the flowers there. Some of them are in the rack, but some of them are in those big black buckets. And he has taken the entire bucket with one set of flowers in it and brought it to the cashier.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe, he just doesn't understand that you can take it out, or maybe he doesn't want to drip all over the place. He didn't see the plastic bag. I don't know what his reasoning is. So the cashier kind of smiles and rings it up, and then you think, okay, and now he'll take the flowers and but nope, he picks the whole thing up and he walks out the door with it, and the cashier just goes, which I thought was the greatest reaction.
That's fantastic.
I'm not chasing this guy down for a bucket, and I don't know why I find that so funny, but I've never seen anybody do that. So
yeah, me either.
Those are my grocery diaries for this week. Okay, Taylor Swift.
Is her career over?
Obviously, her dating life that's the world. That's her world. I mean, she has made albums about it. She's made songs about it. This is what she does. This is her thing. It's what she's known for. And, at the end of the day, I just wish everybody well. I don't care who you are, famous or not. I want people to find happiness. If they want a good relationship, I hope they find that. So, this last guy she dated was with for like 6 years.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, a record probably for her. And coming out of it very shortly, now she's apparently dating Maddie Healy from the 1975.
I love that band, and I love their music.
I love the band very much as well, but I did not know some of the troubling history of some of the things he has said and done, and it really has me second-guessing him as a person. He, over the past, however long you want to go back, and the most disturbing thing comes from, I think, a few years ago, but he has been on stage giving what appeared to be a Nazi salute. He's made very open anti-Muslim and anti-Semitic comments. He was on a podcast where they made fun of an Asian singer, I guess, and they were all doing fake accents, really insensitive.
Yeah.
And then the hardest story, and we won't get into it here, but it involves a certain kind of pornography that he claims to be a fan of that is really disturbing. all this lumped in kind of tells you, man, maybe this guy isn't a great guy.
But
And it's got some Taylor fans going, look, one person said it, I think, really well. Either he's not as bad as they're saying, or she's not as good as they're saying. And this particular commenter was like, I think maybe it's her. I don't know.
I'm going to stick with my theory. I listen to the music, not the person.
I'm the same way. Like, as far as the Taylor side of it goes, hey, you made a bad relationship choice. Maybe you didn't know these things, or maybe you did. Look, that's a human thing to do. Tons of people get into bad relationships, sometimes knowing that person isn't right for them. So I'm not going to hold that. I don't care. I'm not a teenage girl. I don't care. But it definitely affects my outlook on him and whether or not I want to continue to be a fan of them. I have all their albums. I really like these guys. But if this is true about him and what kind of person he is,
pretty
that
out
is
there stuff.
Dark and disturbing stuff. And I just, and I kind of feel bad for her because, I mean, the more this grows, and I'm sure it will because that's the world in which we live, it's not going to look good for her to be with this guy.
What are your thoughts on it? Leave it in the comments.
Yeah, have you seen this? I can put a link in the description to the BuzzFeed article that really gets into it if you're interested to see it. We'll throw it in there for you. Be warned, it is graphic. Okay? But I just, for once in her life, can she just make like a choice that, isn't?
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on there. And then I'm like, is this all planned? Is this all something to get us talking about it in a different way? I don't know. Let's get to our top 5 memes of the week. Again, not necessarily new, just the 5 things that came across either his phone or my phone that we got a kick out of. Here we go. This one you're really only going to get if you're a little older, but it's great and it's absolutely 100% true.
100%.
For sale, 3-in-1 tornado, earthquake, nuclear bomb shelter. If you can't tell what that is, it's a standard classroom desk from schools back in the 70s or 80s.
And now you think about all the drills they go through, and back then it was, I just get under your desk.
Yeah, the world has definitely changed, not for the better in that way. I just
unbelievable.
It's crazy. It's a piece of history, but wow, to see this lineup now. Ahmad Rashad had the worst groomsman ever. OJ on one side, Bill Cosby on the other.
I mean, a guy known for being the Hertz endorsement guy and a guy known for Jell-O pudding pops. I mean, they didn't go on to do anything else.
Yes, nothing bad happened in their lives.
What horrible groomsmen.
That's the worst. Love this one. Why are men always okay with doing nothing for their birthday? And this guy nails it. Imagine celebrating the day when all my problems started.
Yes.
Number 2, and this is just another great one, people our age, kids exploring ancient ruins.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee you a lot of kids under a certain age have no idea what that is.
Some of the funniest videos, you can see them online, are they give kids like a cassette player, a Walkman, or a rotary phone and ask them what it is or how to use it.
Remember Cody? We did that with Cody with something one time. I think it was a cassette deck or something, but he was looking at it, trying to figure out how to open it. And
he's in his 20s. If you know the show at all and you know Cody, that's not too shocking. And then our number 1 this week, it's a simple, I don't even have to read it.
Awesome.
When you're marching around in the woods killing kids with everything possible, you want to be comfortable.
Absolutely. And it's stylish because it matches the mask.
Comfort is king, but style is important too. Thank you, Jason. That's it for this week. Don't forget the Etsy store, link in the description, and there it is on the screen. Spend a couple of bucks. Help us upgrade our studio.
And do us a favor. If you watch this, please get us to get 1 more subscriber. Just 1.
Share it. Share it out there. Go to the shorts page and maybe share some shorts that we're doing. We really appreciate you doing that. Help us continue to grow. Those of you who have done it so far are amazing. We hope that more of you will get involved and do that because it's a group effort, really.
We appreciate you.
Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.